Hi there, you are tuned into Beauty and Braids, the podcast where I, Karyne, has conversations about all things relevant to personal growth and development. Just a heads up, I'm unfiltered. You're welcome. Hey guys. I know I'm not the only one with an ego. I got a big ego. Such a huge ego. Man, I love my big ego. It's so raw. I talk like this, but I could back it up. Ego so big, you ain't know. I don't need no host. I could do this on my own, no. I'm a hot mess. Yeah, no, but most people don't understand or know, like, I didn't really understand ego. I thought ego was just kind of like, it's just one big thing that just tells you and you like, you're feeling yourself and all this extra stuff. But sometimes if you don't realize it, your ego can actually hurt your feelings. Like, it's a voice in your head that's telling you not to do something. Your ego kind of feeds off of fear, doubt and worry, a lack. It's impatient. Your ego is very impatient, entitled, and definitely feeds the jealousy, envy, and insecurities. So I then started noticing that, like, there were certain things like the ego would be like, well, you deserve that because you did this and this and that, but you're not doing nothing. You're not doing nothing for that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, my ego will also say, you're not good enough for that. Why are you even trying for it? Like, stay where you at, And I don't know if you're listening to this, that is your ego speaking. Your ego is something that is just, it develops like a defense mechanism or a way of trying to protect you from getting hurt again. It builds up walls. It says, like, it replays things that happened in the past, and it basically just keeps you stuck. When you release that, when you I wouldn't say you can't eliminate your ego. Like, your ego is a part of you. It's like a shadow side. It's like a part that says it's there to kind of like warn you, but then you have to try to be brave or anything like that. You have to still have fear. You still have fear, but you do it anyway. That makes you brave. That makes you strong. That gives you strength because you are doing something despite how you feel, right? If it's for the greater good or the betterment of yourself, when you're trying to develop yourself, you don't grow in comfort zones. You grow outside of that. You can't grow in a box. You can't breathe there. You know what I'm saying? So you definitely need to like break out your cocoon, spread your wings, and use that struggle to build muscle. And that's how we build muscle, through the struggle, through the pain. And I'm saying with there's no growth in pain when it deals with your hair, though. So don't try to use that and like, you know what? I'm going to sit here through this painful experience to get my hair done. No, there's never a reason why you should stay in a painful experience to get your hair done, because what you're doing is allowing someone to mistreat your hair, and your hair is your crown, and your hair is everything. It is your golden, your glow, like what you communicate with the world with. And it's luxurious and healthy when it's cared for. The more you put love into your hair, the more it shows it, you know. So and so when someone hits you up with the, or you sitting there and your ego is telling you, girl, you ain't even got no hair, you might as well. No. You still deserves respect. You still deserve respect when it comes to anything, and how someone treats you, how you talk, no matter what, you know, like, and how we see ourselves, how we view ourselves is usually how others will view us as well. They will reflect that. So you have to be careful and mindful of your ego, because your ego will tell you you deserve something and you haven't even worked for it. You haven't put the hour, the time, the effort for. And I had a huge ego before where I'm just like, I did this and this and that, and people who meet me, they probably think no, but I can't help what I think. Like, oh, he should be with me, or I don't even think I thought like that. Like, it was more of like, oh, he don't really like me. Like, I was always that person, like the tomboy growing up. I'm like, he doesn't like me. Like, I'm not cute. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just like, I'm that cool person. Like, nobody really, I'm the homegirl. And other people around me, I didn't realize that they felt intimidated around me. But I really, truly did not see it. Like, I didn't see what everybody else was seeing, because my ego was telling me all the stuff that my family growing up would say to kind of, I guess, stop me from being a light or something like that. It was always like something like, you know, I've always had like, my weight was always up and down, so I was always thick of a weight or something like that. Like, I think my sister had told me, like, she thought I was not gonna be cute when I grew up, because she said I looked like a koala bear or something like that. Like, these are the things that in family, it is unhealthy and it's very toxic. The stuff that your siblings tell you, and it's just kind of like, what the hell? You know what I'm saying? So you take that with you, like, oh, so I'm walking around thinking I'm cute, but my family members is like, oh, you know, my sister's ugly. You know what I'm saying? So, and I felt that, like, what they felt in their hearts, I absorbed it. Like, without them having to say it, I felt it. You know what I'm saying? So, so I was always quiet. I always kept to myself, because I didn't feel like people wanted to see me. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't feel seen. And growing up, I'm taking all that trauma and verbal abuse or whatever, and then take it up to an adulthood where now, you know, guys are looking at me and I'm just kind of like, what do you see in me? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what you see in me, because I don't see it. So you must be after one thing. You know what I'm saying? So then now my defenses is up, because I'm just like, whatever. Because I wasn't the type of person that was like, oh my God, he's looking at me, so I'm going to, you know, talk to him. It was more of like, you got to be after something, because I don't have anything to offer. And I don't know if that made me more mysterious, but I honestly was just kind of like, yo, I'm into books. I'm trying to get my education on. Like, that's where my focus was, because I wasn't looking for that. And I had friends that, you know, that was somehow, like, I didn't realize I had friends that was jealous of me, and I didn't know why, because I was like, I'm not even looking at dudes, you know what I'm saying? Or they would be like, oh, he likes you, and I'm like, me? Like, how? I'm not even trying. And I don't know if that's what it was, because you don't try or whatever and you don't want it. I didn't want the attention. I had like, you know, my breasts had developed at an early age. I don't even know when it started developing, but I used to wear jerseys and really baggy shirts to try to like hide my shape. Towards 8th grade, like I was developed, and I like, and people, I guess the boys noticed, but I was just kind of like, yo, I'm not here for that. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I just wasn't paying attention really. But I was myself. I was able to be myself because I wasn't trying to impress nobody. And I think that's the thing I lost growing up. Like, the not caring about impressing people and just being me. When I got older, I was like, oh my God, guys are looking at me and I like this one. Now I'm starting to be interested. So now my ego is like, girl, you ain't this and you ain't that, and nobody told me. So when I got older, this guy had told me like, yo, we all liked you when we was in school. And I'm like, what? I was like, yeah, we all liked you. And I was like, I did not know at all, and I don't know why. like, I, I don't know. Like, even to this day, sometimes I'm just kind of like, I know, no. Now I know. Like, okay, I can see why people like me. You know, like I'm not with the BS or the games or, like making a scene. It is what it is. Like, I'm more of like, this is an experience. Before, I used to take things to heart. Now I'm like, as I'm growing and developing, I'm looking at things like, yo, this is an experience. And what am I taking from that experience? What did I learn from it? And now I'm able to enjoy people without the pressures of, are we going to be something? Does he really like me? Like, I don't care. As long as I like myself, and I like what I'm doing, and I'm I'm doing it for me, not from anybody else. And I think too many people try to push that on you or make you feel guilty for doing you. And I think it's always worked for me in the past when I did things that made me happy. Like, when it makes me happy, I can be happy for others, and it just kind of sparks something with others, and they can be happy for me. But at the end of the day, you're gonna still have people who don't recognize that, and they think that you're trying to outshine them or anything like that. And it's like, yo, I'm not in competition with nobody. I'm trying to shut my ego up. Like, honestly, like, I'm trying to get my ego to shut up, and stop trying to downplay what I can do. Like, you can't survive in the light. Like, you can't do that. Like, what are they going to say and all that? That's the ego talking. And I'm constantly proving my ego wrong. I'm constantly checking my ego. I don't care about everybody else. It's like a war within yourself. Because you're like, you have this constant doubt because growing up, that's all you heard. And now it has seeped into your subconscious, and you're thinking that's your thoughts and your voice, but it's not. It's somebody else's projection from them. And of course, in personal development, you're going to get to a point where things will cut deep. In order for you to heal, you have to feel through it. And And yes, if you can hear, my voice is cracking. I'm tearing up because I'm having a breakthrough. You can say, like, I'm gonna enjoy the. I'm gonna just go through this process right now because that to have that constant battle, because you have allowed venom into your life. Like, like family and their toxic behaviors and their talk, and they think that they're trying to toughen you up, but all they're doing is breaking you down, which is crazy to me. It's like you are supposed to actually support me, push me, bring me up, empower me, talk me up, make me feel like I can do something. Like, people will wait till you are like they will talk back about you in your face, but then if they introduce you to somebody, they try to talk you up. It's like, what the hell? Like, you don't ever tell me how great you think I am or how good I am. I get that from strangers, or I get that when you are around strangers, where you want to be proud of me around strangers, but to my face, I'm getting the total opposite. I'm getting the eye rolls. Like, what are you doing now? And I can't even. I don't even see the happy. Like, what? So it's that, and I understand that people are also dealing with their own egos and their battles. So, I'm being more understanding because I realize this is something that I'm going through. So, so like the ego can also be the shade that people give you. Some, like, it's just kind of the little things, and you just kind of like catch it. Like, wow, like, you know what I'm saying? So, everybody has an ego. It's how you are able to not allow that ego to run your life and ruin relationships or work opportunities, and to check it, like every now and then say, what is that, my ego? Like, yeah, I work hard for what I did. If it doesn't come to me, it's not mine. I don't deserve anything. I work hard for what I get. I earn it. And if something does not come to you, only something better will come to you. And if you think that way and understand how faith works, and how the universe will give you exactly what you ask for, but you have to know what you ask for. And there's going to be times where you're going to have your lows and your downs. And in between, just breathe. I don't know if I touched anybody right now and anybody understands where I'm coming from when it comes to the ego. The ego will sabotage, self-sabotage anything that you're trying to do, undermine it, downplay it, make you feel like you shouldn't charge a certain price because who are you? You shouldn't teach us certain things because who are you to do it? No one's gonna listen. No one's gonna buy it. Listen, put it out there. Someone's gonna buy it. If you have an issue, if your ego say, well, you're not educated enough, well, you know what? Go get educated. Shut your ego up. They're like, oh, you too heavy to do something. Well, start working out. Shut your ego up. Whatever negative thing that your ego says about you, oh, you can't stand on your foot or whatever, because start standing on your foot. Start strengthening your feet so you can shut your ego up. All you have to do is do the complete opposite. Educate yourself. Surround yourselves with people who have gone through it. Start researching individuals who've gotten things done, who are doing what you want to do. See how, because every successful person has been met with naysayers, with their own ego. with obstacles, and yet they still pressed on. They still got through that hurdle where it was just so heavy. The burden was tough. It was trying to keep them down, but they still did it, because guess what? If not when, if not now, when? You only got one life to live. You can do it. Like, you can do it. There's no reason why you could do it. That why you can't do it. Like, try until you can do it. The ego wins when you stop. The ego says, you might as well give up because you ain't never going to get it. And then you give up. That's the ego winning. The ego makes you stay in a comfortable place, gives you excuses all day. Oh, or the blame game. Oh, they did this to me. Da 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 da. Da da da. When you think like that, who are you? You supposed to be the special person where nothing happens to you. No, life doesn't happen. Like, the ego is ungrateful. Okay, like, people get super excited when they know. So nothing is guaranteed to you. But look, this is an example. You're waiting at the bus stop, and like, you head into the bus stop and you see the bus. Nothing is owed to you. Once you get to the bus stop, you see a bus coming, and you're just smiling like, oh my God, God is good. The bus is coming. Everything is moving right. That is showing you that is not normal, that the bus is coming as soon as you get there. You feel lucky. You feel like the universe has smiled upon you. You are grateful. But let you come there and you miss the bus. You didn't come on time. You're gonna either, the ego is gonna either tell you, you so stupid, you should have been left and got there early, or dumb bus driver gonna leave me. Oh, well, I'm gonna be late then. And instead of just saying this, maybe next time I leave a little bit earlier, or maybe I can walk to the next stop, or let me take another route, find alternatives, the ego will find a way to blame something. And it's, again, not a guaranteed thing. The bus is not guaranteed to be there when you get there, to wait for you or anything like that. Why are we so excited when we get something that's out of the normal, when it's a blessing? But then we start cursing when things don't go our way. Life is a balance. If it goes our way, it's not going for someone else. And if it's going for someone else, it's not going for us. It's a balance. For someone to win, there's someone who has to lose, and vice versa. So when you see it that way, you are able to celebrate individuals who are winning, because in order for them to win, we gotta take the L. And when they aren't winning, it's not to celebrate that they're not winning. Just enjoy the season that you are in when you are winning, and be grateful so that it comes back. But like, life is a pendulum. It swings back and forth. So you're going to have to ride the wave and, wait your turn. But when you see it that way, you can really quiet your ego and say, calm down. It ain't the end of the world. Our turn is coming. And when you can soothe the ego becomes smaller and it becomes more tolerable. You can work with your ego. And the point is not to remove your ego, because it can't go anywhere. It's there for a reason. You can allow your ego to be a positive force in your life, to work with your intuition, to say, hey, you know what? That person did this before. So maybe I should take a little bit of precaution with it. Not to say that you can't do anything. Like, oh my God, death is all around us, we're not going to go out there. No. A lot of things are happening despite that. But let's go out of there. Like, let's get out of there. So just work with your ego. I can't believe I'm actually grateful that I cried, because I think it was pent up. Today was not a good day. I mean, today had some good and it had some bad in them. Accepting them both. I just didn't. Well, the signs were there, so I can't really say I didn't see it coming. I just was hopeful that it wasn't gonna happen the way it did. But there's still something that I can learn from, because nothing happens by accident. Everything happens on purpose. What is a really good book you're reading? Because I started reading this book. Well, right now I'm reading this book called Keep It Moving. The book is inside the in my room, but I also I'm just starting to read more stuff that my soul and my spirit is gravitating more to. So I'll just pick up the book. I went to Barnes and Noble and bought 4 books. I was like, yo, I wanted to buy all the books. So I'm really excited about reading. If anybody knows about me and reading, when I was younger, I used to have my sister read to me because I hated books. I did not like reading books. I didn't. I felt like all the books that everybody that was in my house was raunchy, ghetto books about sex and drugs. I'm like, what am I reading? I'm not reading that stuff. I could just really go outside. That was my neighborhood. That was my area. I'm like, why am I reading this in the book? It's not a fantasy. It's not taking me away from my life. You know what I'm saying? It's not. I'm like, it's not. Until I read a book called God Don't Like Ugly 1 and God Don't Like Ugly 2. Oh my God, that book really took me out of my, because I was not exposed to the life she had. I was like, oh my God, it was like a precious book, and she was raped by her stepdad, and then her best friend was also raped by the stepdad. Oh my God, and they end up together. Lord, it was such a crazy book. I was so into that book. That was the only 2 books I've ever read voluntarily on my own. Best books ever to read. Ever. Best books. All of that Zane and Coldest Winter and True to the Game. No. Those were not the books that I wanted to read at all. No, they were ew. I'm sorry, but those were not a book that felt like it was helping me understand the world better or making me compassionate, or it just wasn't. It was just something that I was like, I'm already seeing, and I don't want to see it. I don't want to read about something that I can look that's happening around me. But now I'm starting to read more books that really it piques my interest. I'm really happy about reading. So clap for me. My ego was like, you don't like reading, don't be getting no books. And I was like, I'm gonna get books, and guess what, I'm gonna get 4 books, and I'm gonna build my library. So shut up, ego, be quiet. Okay. And now I can read. And I like reading out loud. Well, that's another topic. But hey guys, thank you so much for, listening with me and talking again. And I'm feeling really dope because Kamala Harris is vice president is a vice president elect. So come January, she's going to be the vice president of the United States of America. First black Asian woman. Like, that's pretty dope. Like, that gives hope. Like, a female in office. We already was saying we run the world, but and again, we don't do it alone, but we definitely do it well. All right, I'm just gonna stop here, and thank you so much again for listening. I love y'all so much, and remember to just check your ego. Okay, leave it at the door. Leave it at the door. Bye. Thank you again for listening to Beauty and Braids. I'm your girl Karyne, and this has been another great day. Until next time, you'll hear from me then. In the meantime, please follow me on @Hair by Karyne, @Shop Braid Appeal, and @YTC Nonprofit. Get to know me a little bit better. Check them out. Bye.